Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay. So let's start sharing. So Mayuko, before other students come in and we have some, let's just make some small talk. So which part of Japan do you come from?
I'm come from Mie Prefecture. That is near Osaka. And
Okay.
yeah.
So you come from, okay. Yeah, don't say I'm come from, okay? I come from, very good. Now, so this is Simon and this is hello, Pradeepa. Hello, Simon.
Hello, sir.
Okay, how are you, everyone?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. I'm fine, thanks. All right, Simon's still a long way from appearing, but we'll get started. Okay, now, what do you want to start with today? Do you want any particular points you want to start with first? Mayuko, let's just take a vote. Mayuko, what do you think we should start?
Whatever, anything.
Anything? So
Yeah.
no preference, reading, writing, speaking,
Yeah.
listening? No? Pradeepa?
Fill in the blanks, listening.
Fill in the blanks, listening. Simon, how are you?
Good.
Okay. Simon, do you have any suggestion that we should start with?
I think it's fill in the blank.
Listening?
Yeah.
Yes, why not? Very good. Good point. Let's get started. So fill in the blanks listening. Please don't take your eyes off the screen, right? Without looking at what you're writing. Get yourself, grab a pen and a pencil and a piece of paper. Okay. Now, none of you have done the test. So you know that the marker goes dry. Did you know that? The marker? No? 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 All right. Let me play that one for you first, and then we'll come back. So probably you know my YouTube channel, and so the PTE. Now, because you cannot use a pen or a pencil, you need to use markers. And there's a problem with the markers. I'm going to play this for you.
It's value the Australian way at Coles, with Coles' finest sourdough Vienna. Stone baked for a current.
Hello, this is Hugh, and I'm going to give sections and so. So now I'm going to give you some handy tips on how to effectively use the reusable booklet and the marker during the PTE exam. As you may know, you are not allowed to take any paper and writing implements with you to the test center. And of course, the reason is obvious. They do not want any of their material. Okay. Simon is in and out of the class. Close the door, Simon. It's very cold outside. Thank you. When you come to the class, close the door. Yes, last time you opened the door, I caught a cold. That's true. All right. Now, let's
Sorry
go.
about that. My laptop has some problem.
No, that's all right. Let's go. And writing implements with you to the test center. And of course, the reason is obvious. They do not want any of their materials to leak out of the center, like what is happening in this footage. Instead, they provide the candidates with a bundle of laminated pieces of paper and some markers for note-taking purposes. And this is where the problem really starts. Most of us are not used to using a marker to take down notes, so we use them as if we are using a pen. And of course, after a while, the nib goes dry and it makes it useless for writing. And since There is usually one person in charge of 5 to 15 candidates in the center. It will take some time for that marker to be replaced. This means you are going to lose some precious points. To avoid this, at the start of the test, ask for 2 or 3 markers and then check the nibs if they are in working order. And always put the cap on when you are not going to use the marker. Another way to avoid this situation is to doodle while you are waiting for the question to start. I'm probably the first teacher who's encouraging his students to doodle, but this way the nib of the marker wouldn't go dry and you are ready to spring into action immediately. So to recap, first, ask for 1 or 2 spare markers at the start of the test. Second, check the nibs if they are okay. And finally, keep doodling on the booklet while waiting for the question to start. Thank you for watching this, and good luck with your PTE exam. For more information, so if just keep doodling before the audio starts, because it's 10 seconds before it starts. So if you take the cap off, it will go dry. So just write, and then as soon as it starts, you write. Okay. Now we'll start with filling the blanks. Eyes on the screen, please.
Hello, running through every part of our bodies is a network of fibres. This is the nervous system, an elaborate structure which carries information throughout the body. It allows the brain to control our muscles and internal organs and also conveys sensations such as sight, hearing, smell, taste and touch in the opposite direction. Scholars first described the nerves of the human body over 2,000 years ago. The Roman surgeon Galen believed they were channels for what he called animal spirits, mysterious powers which cause sensation and movement.
Mayuko, you are looking at what you're writing. Mayuko.
Yeah.
Don't look at what you're writing. I saw you while you did this. You shouldn't do that. Pradeepa and Simon, they didn't do that, all right? Because once you do this, when you come back, you cannot find the line, all right? So write without, and you can write in Japanese, you can write in your own language. For instance, the first one, what was it?
I heard
Mayuko, what was the first?
Rubber.
Anyone else?
Embarrass something.
Simon?
I heard lumber too.
Okay, number 2.
No, lumber.
Oh, just 2?
Oh, number 2. Muscle.
Master?
Yeah.
So anyone else? Number 2, Pradeepa?
Muscles. Yeah.
Sorry?
Muscle.
Parcel?
Muscles.
Oh, muscle.
Oh.
I hope you can spell it. Is that correct?
I think it's CLE, right?
Muscle. S-I.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes, Simon. Very good spelling. Number 3, Mayuko.
Sight.
How do you spell it?
S-I-G-H-T.
Very good. Excellent. Sight as in sight. Hello, Jacob.
Hi.
So, Pradeepa, number 4.
Scholars.
How do you spell it?
S-C-O-L-O-R-S. Scholars. S-C.
Is that correct? Scholars. Okay. Now, since it is the first word of the sentence, you have to write it capital. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Number 5. Number 5. Simon?
Say.
I'm sorry?
Say. SAID.
Okay. Anyone else? And the last one?
Sensational. Sensation.
So number one, anyone? Number one? No?
Structure.
All right.
Sense.
Okay.
Site.
So the first one is elaborate. Elaborate means complicate. So an elaborate structure. Number two, muscles. You see, it was plural, muscles. Now, if let me, okay, look, the Roman surgeon, okay? Let's write this surgeon, plural. Let's see what happens. So surgeons, all right, surgeons. Oh, still it finds it difficult. Surgeons. Okay, but I would prefer you to write plural. If you're not sure, write the plural rather than the singular one. Okay, if you're not sure whether it is singular or plural, always go for the plural. Okay, so surgeon is very important. The spelling surgeon, very good. Mayuko, sight and sensations. So Jacob, please get yourself
Yeah.
and a piece of paper. Okay, next one.
Yeah, oh, good.
We're doing fill in the blanks. Listen.
Yeah.
Well, of course, in the 19th century, they realised that Bishop Ussher couldn't be right, and were really two lines of evidence that led people to think that the Earth must have been much older. The first was geological evidence. People realised that it would have taken tens or even hundreds of millions of years to lay down the geological strata and to produce all the valleys, etc. But a second line of evidence at the same time was Darwin's theory of natural selection, because he inferred that it would have taken at least 100 million years for species to evolve by that method.
I would be surprised if anyone got number one. I would be surprised, okay? I would shout and I would cry. I would just tear my hair off if anyone says number one. If it is Simon, I would kill myself. Simon? Tell me number one. I'm going to kill myself.
I didn't hear it.
Because I couldn't answer this myself, okay? I produced this question, and when I listened to it for the first time, I said, what? What was that? Nobody? Okay. If you're a Christian, you should know it. Bishop.
What's
Yes.
the mean?
Bishop means priest.
Oh, please.
Priest, okay? Someone in a church. Bishop. You can write in capital B or so. The bishop Ussher. So the name of the bishop was Ussher. Very good. Number one, number two, Mayuko. Number two.
I didn't get it.
Anyone?
Let.
Sorry.
I heard it as a let. I'm not sure.
So what is? Yeah. Yes, Pradeepa.
Let is let.
How do you spell it?
L-E-T.
Okay. Anyone else? Jacob?
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Okay. It's actually led. That led people. So lead,
L-E-A-D,
led
yeah.
in the past. Okay, led people. Now, let is wrong because here we have to think. Because we say let me go. We don't say let me to go. say, let me go. So grammatically, this cannot be correct. Pradeepa, number 3, please.
Realize.
Very good. Realize. Number 4, Simon, please.
I didn't get it.
Anyone?
Validate.
Anyone else?
Values.
Very good. In geography, this is not about, this is in geography. So valleys. I have to check the spelling. Don't write it. I have to check the spelling. Don't trust me. I'm horrible at spelling. And the last one, Jacob.
Influenced or
Anyone else?
Inverted. Inferred. Oh, God.
Okay. Now, what does infer mean, Simon? Do you know what it means? To infer? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, I'll give you an example. You come home, and you see that the window is broken. The window is broken, and the door is open. What do you infer? Mayuko, what do you infer? The window is broken and the door is open.
Someone broke into the house.
Very good. You infer, you come to conclusion. So infer means to come to conclusion. You come to the conclusion that someone has broken into your house. All right. So that's what you infer. You look at the evidence and you say, okay, that's inferring. Okay. So let's check the answers. Ooh, we got all correct. Thanks to you. So bishop, inferred, valleys. Now, what does valley mean? Where the river cuts through the earth and it makes a valley, like canyon, like a big gorge, big, V-shaped, where the river goes. That's a valley. Okay, next one.
And it's delivered many, many bold missions and worked with long-term planning. There are fantastic examples. Nothing beats, of course, the Apollo program. Just 10 years, actually 9 years from start to finish, from when President Kennedy set the vision of that moonshot until they delivered. And I was a youngster, but it probably captured my imagination and led to my interest in science. It was fantastic.
All right, we'll start with Jacob. This time we go from bottom to top. Yes.
Mission.
Very good. How do you spell it?
MISSION.
Excellent. Mission. Bold mission. Number 2, Simon.
I didn't get it.
Okay. Anyone?
This.
East.
I'm sorry, east.
No, this. Nothing this.
Okay.
How do you spell it? Okay, good. That's fine. There's no negative marking. Just write whatever you think it is correct. But don't waste your time on a question that you have missed. Don't say, oh, I will get it if I think about it for 10 minutes. It will come back to me. No, just number 3, Pradeepa.
Vision.
You mean this vision?
Yeah.
Vision. Okay, and Mayuko, number 4.
Cats.
Sorry,
Cats.
how do you spell it?
CATCH. I don't know.
B.
C.
Oh, C.
A. T. CH.
Okay, very good. Let's check. Okay, so you see the first one was missions, bold missions. Nothing beats. Nothing beats. And vision and captured. Captured, probably captured my imagination. It's a very common collocation. You say it captured my imagination. It means it was on my mind. It was on my mind all the time. If I know, for instance, ladies and gentlemen, I know if you want to buy something, it will capture your mind and you say, I really need those pair of shoes. Even though you have a lot of shoes, but you think and say, that party, I need it for that party. If something captures your imagination, you're gonna buy it, okay? Regardless of whatever they say, I don't have to, I have to save my money. But if something captures your imagination, you have to buy it. I know that because I do it most of the time. Now, a Tesla has captured my imagination. So I will buy it. Okay, next one. You get 2 to 3 of these in your exam.
And so mobile executives, spent several years trying to figure out how to make a plastic shopping bag. And they kept trying to make something that looked like the paper shopping bag, flat bottom, square sides. Plastic doesn't do that. Polyethylene doesn't do that easily. And they kept failing. And then somebody came across a patent that the Swedish engineer had filed for what is a very familiar item to us today, which is that T-shirt shaped flimsy plastic shopping bag.
Number 1, Pradeepa, please.
Executive.
Very good, executive.
Executives.
Number 2, Simon.
Try.
Very good. Trying. After keep we say trying. So keep trying. Keep trying. Okay. Number 3, Jacob, please.
Square.
Sorry.
Square.
Very good. Good. Number 4, Mayuko.
Tatam. I didn't get it.
Do that. Doesn't do that. Anyone?
Easily. I heard it as easily.
Very good. Easily. Very good. Number 5, no one has got it. I'm absolutely sure. No one. Yes.
So I just wrote it. Pattern.
How do you spell it?
I just PATTERN, and that is.
Very good, very good. But it is not the answer, but very close. And anyone else? Okay, it is actually P.
Patent.
Patent. What does it mean? Patent?
That's a trademark. It's like it's trademark.
Very good. It's copyright. It's sort of copyright. Yes. So Microsoft invented the Word document, and the whole shebang of it. So they patented that to their own invention. So it's one of their inventions, and it is patented by Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft owns it. Okay. Good. And the last one, anyone? Sorry.
I hear it's clumsy.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Okay.
See.
Flimsy. Flimsy.
Okay.
You know what it means, flimsy? Means very, very easily broken. Easily broken. So if somebody easily breaks, it is flimsy. Ooh, we got it all correct.
What's the spelling?
So yes, check the spelling, please. It has to be, so executive, patent, right, flimsy. Okay, next one.
But what I think is going on here is a very interesting historical three-card trick. I've looked at 2,500 years of Celtic history in Britain and Ireland, and basically in a rapid sketch, the pattern is dead straightforward. Military defeat, colonisation, marginalisation, pastiche, led by Walter Scott, a fellow borderer, shortbread tins, tartan and all the rest of it, and now, hey guys, we don't exist. So that's what's going on, it seems to me. It's a more subtle removal of our history than in the past, but it's a removal nonetheless.
Number one, anybody? Yes.
I'm weird. It's sort maybe. It's so.
Anyone else? Jacob?
It has a side.
Okay. I think. Did you hear sketch? I heard sketch. Was it sketch? I don't know. I have to check it. Number two, rapid.
Yeah.
Square.
Or maybe sketch was here, huh? Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Number three.
Colonization.
Number four.
That's
Teen, very good. And number five.
subtle.
Very good, subtle. Subtle. B is not pronounced. Subtle. Let me check. Oh. Okay, the spelling. So most of them are spelling. Oh yes, colonization. It is pronounced. Oh, historical. The first one is historical. A sketch is the second one. A sketch is S-K-E-T-C-H. So colonization, tins, and subtle. Okay, now we're going to start with summarize spoken text. Remember, summarize spoken text is a sister question to retail lecture here. First one. So this one. Okay, summarize spoken text. I'm going to play you an audio. You're going to write 50 to 70 words for me in 10 minutes. Please type it and then send it to the chat over here. I'll go through it. Are you ready? Please get yourself a pen or a pencil and write as many words as you can. And then you write simple sentences without complicated grammar structures.
Summary, right,
Okay.
sir? We need to
Okay.
make full summary, right, sir?
Summarize the spoken text.
Okay.
So you write, the topic of the lecture was, the speaker talked about this. Finally, the speaker highlighted the following points, you know. Okay.
The war for talent refers to an increasingly competitive landscape for recruiting and retaining talented employees. In the book, Michaels et al. Describe not a set of superior human resources processes, but a mindset that emphasizes the importance of talent to the success of organizations. The war for talent is intensified by demographic shifts, primarily in the United States and Europe. This is characterized by increasing demand along with decreasing supply demographically. There are simply fewer post-baby boomer workers to replace the baby boom retirement in the U.S. and Europe, though this is not the case in most of East Asia, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, Central America, South America, or the Middle East. Eastern Europe also tends to have similar demographics, namely an aging or shrinking labor force. While talent is vague or ill-defined, the underlying assumption is that for knowledge-intensive industries, the knowledge worker, a term coined by Peter Drucker, is the key competitive resource. See the resource-based view of the firm.
Poco. Amma.
All right, thank you. 3 people sent. their answers. This is very good because we still have 4 minutes to go. That's fantastic. Every time it cannot copy from it's interesting, from the chat, because I want to copy it and paste it here so that you can see. So, okay. So how many, everyone has sent it over? No, 2 people still to go. I'll wait another minute. Okay, here comes Jacobs. And, okay, that's it. That's it. Very good. Okay, we start with Mayuko's because can you see the chats? No, you can't. You cannot see the chat, can you?
I can see the chat.
Can you? Everyone can see the chats now? Really? That's good. I thought you can't see them. That's interesting. But I cannot copy them. Anyway, so we'll start with Mayuko's. The topic of the lecture was landscape. The speaker talked about, we had this before, haven't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we did.
Jesus Christ. What number was it?
87.
87. Just randomly. I chose it randomly. Can you believe it? And it was the same? No way. I mean, let me tell you something. The same would happen to you in the exam. You sit the exam and you get the same questions that we had here. You say, what? But it really happens. The students come to you and say, oh, I had this question that we practiced yesterday. I had it in the exam. So that's luck. Luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. So I'm sorry, I didn't notice that. Well, okay, we'll do something else after this. A different. So the topic of the lecture was talent, because when I said talent, talent rings a bell. The speaker talked. Simon, it's in the past. It's in the past. Talked. ED. Okay. And the reason why I ask you to write in the past is that right now this is grammatically wrong. Who knows what's wrong with this? What's the problem with this? The problem is this. If it is simple present, which is it is, it should be the speaker talks. S, third person S. All right? And it doesn't have it. And the computer quickly picks that up. It says, wrong grammatical structure. So if you write ED, you don't have to worry about that. So the speaker talked ED about the process of recruiting and retraining people, performer. Okay, the speaker also went on and talked very good about the importance, ANCE, not important, importance of talent and organization. Finally, the speaker highlighted the Central America. Good, very good. Okay, that's enough. One more. We do one more. Sorry, I didn't notice that we are. So I hope we haven't done this one. Let's go. I put one next to it. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's go.
In my view, it's impossible not to talk about wildlife and not think about its role in livelihood. And I guess part of that is my own view, part of the research that I do in Africa. In easternmost Africa, I took a role. All the humans rely on wildlife as their source of food and also their source of income. And we talk about our wildlife, it seems we talk about fish, we're talking about what probably single most important source of protein for human and across the globe. And so billions, more than a billion people rely on fish as their primary source of animal protein, and most of these people are living in poverty. So the management of fish resources and wildlife in that sense causing incredibly important to livelihoods and health. And also, wildlife tourism is the multiple billion-dollar industry, and in many places such as Africa, South America, it can be the number one source of income, and it can be the number one source of foreign income for economy.
Pradeepa, did you send it or still working on it?
Still working.
Okay, good. Keep going, keep going. So, very good, Simon. Okay, Jacob, are you done? But we still have 3 minutes to go. So remember in the test, if you had if you had a situation like this, you had 3 minutes to go. If you go next, this time is not saved. So it's just, you know.
Okay.
I would suggest that you read it again and check the punctuation. 1 minute to go, that's fine. You can go next. But if there are 4 minutes to go and you go next, that time is gone and the next question starts. So that your time doesn't roll over. This is not data. This is not data on your mobile phone where you can roll over from 1 month to another. Okay, very good. We'll start with Mayuka, who first sent the first one over. Okay, Mayuka, how many words do you think you wrote?
I think less than, it was less than 50.
Less than 50?
Yeah, I didn't count it. I don't know how to.
12, 14, 16. Yes, it's 47.
Yeah.
Okay, it must be 50. Now, in a situation like this, just copy one sentence from here and paste it at the end. Okay, or just add a few at the end. Income, just write Japan, comma Japan, sandwich. I don't know. I like pizza. You know, just something about protein. That's fine. Okay, but it shouldn't be less than 50. Remember, Simon. The topic of the lecture. Oh, I didn't read yours. The topic of the lecture, Mayuka, was Africa. The speaker talked about social food. The speaker also went on and talked about primary source of protein. Very good. Finally, the speaker highlighted the following points: fish, protein industry in Africa, in African. African is an adjective. You need a noun. So if you say industry in African, you have to mention cities, countries. Otherwise, say industry in Africa. And America, or you can say American, no comma, income. That's fine. But very good. Very good. Simons, the topic of the lecture was sources. The speaker talked about the importance. Simon, importance. Important is an adjective. You need a noun. You need a noun after. So the important source. No, it's correct. Very good. I'm sorry. It's correct.
Okay.
Yes, because there's a noun after. Importance of protein. We can't say, however, the importance of but no, that's fine. For human. Okay, Simon, finish the sentence here. Don't write complex sentence. So finish the sentence here, full stop, and then start capital M. More than 1 billion people depend on fish as main source, full stop. Okay, do not write a complex sentence.
Okay.
So 2 sentences, just break it into 2 sentences. The main source. The speaker also went on and talked about wildlife. I think wildlife is one word or with a hyphen, but that's not wildlife, fish stocks. Very good. Finally, the speaker highlighted the following points: Africa, South America, income, economy, and foreign revenue. If I want to give you a score out of 10, you will get 10 out of 10. Very good. this is the content is more than 30%. So more than 30% is 30% get the full mark. Okay, so that's very good. And grammatically speaking, it's fine. Very good. Pradeepa, and it is more than 50 words. Pradeepa, the topic of the lecture was wildlife. The speaker also went on and talked about his own view. Very good. So what's the mistake here, Pradeepa? You tell me.
ED.
Very good. Capital H. He, capital H. He talked about. All right. So how does a computer know that you have started a new sentence? If you start with a capital letter, the computer knows, that's a new sentence. The person, if the computer finds a full stop, then it knows that the next word should be in capital letter. If it is not, then that's a grammatical mistake. So he, capital letter, talked about his research about the wildlife. Very good. He described the topic. What's the problem, Pradeepa? You tell me. He described, huh?
You need to add ed in the end.
Excellent. Otherwise, right now it is grammatically wrong because it should be he describes. Otherwise, it is wrong. If you want to make it correct, just add a ed to it. It's fine. You don't have to worry about the tense. Okay. He described the topic in his view. Very good. The speaker also talked about and went on African wildlife tourism. He also highlighted the following points and semicolon. Points, semicolon. You know semicolon.
Yeah.
Highlighted the following points such as tourism, wildlife, making money and tourism, fish, livelihood, Africa, foreign income, and protein for humans. Very good. Again, 10 out of 10. Despite these mistakes, you will get 10 out of 10. But get those mistakes out, you will be very, very right here. Okay, Jacobs. The speaker was delivering was delivering the lecture.
I went out.
No, that's fine. No, I'm being naughty. So the speaker was delivering the lecture in relation to the wildlife and the research that are to be You see, this is where you are making yourself entangled in something that you don't need. Okay, write simple sentences. Finish one sentence, that's it. Start another one. Now, up to here, it was very good. You see, you had a very good start. The speaker was delivering a lecture or the lecture in relation to the wildlife. Full stop. Don't start and, okay, full stop, because the computer gets mixed up when you put and, because then the problem of subject-verb agreement kicks in. So look, and the research that are, okay, why the research that are? Why is the research is are is? See, that is the problem. You think that the first sentence is now added as the subject. It is not. That the sentence is finished. That is why I want you to break down sentences into simple sentences. Do not flex your grammatical muscles here. Okay, do not flex your grammatical muscles here. Just simple sentences. You'll find if you write simple sentence, you will get the score, highest score. But if you make it, because basically summarize a spoken text is about your grammar. Most of the grammar comes from this section, okay? Because you're typing, because you're writing. So like wildlife. Forget about and, capital T, the research that is to be going on done. Okay, what do you want to say here? Okay, I want to say, and the research that he is going to do.
So I cut it out from some.
I know. You can make it into something simple, okay?
Yeah.
The speaker also told about, okay, the wildlife that include, you see, another complex sentence. Now, what's the problem here? Pradeepa knows. Pradeepa, what's the problem here? Includes. Wildlife is singular. So that includes, and it is not includes, it's include. So it is wrong. It's grammatically wrong. So everything in the past, Jacob, the speaker also talked about the wildlife, full stop, or that included fish and other animals. Right now, it is grammatically wrong. What's wrong with it? It is simple present tense because it doesn't have ed. It is simple present tense, and it has to have s after include. So say wildlife that includes. Since you don't have it, it's grammatically wrong. So add an ed to it. Okay. He also commented as the consuming fish as
No, what happened was I cut it out somewhere, so I hanged up.
Fine. That's fine. No, this section is fine. So, but I want you to use finally. Finally, okay.
Yeah.
The speaker highlighted the following points. Then you can write cock and bull stories. Okay, it's fine. So finally, the speaker highlighted. It's very good. It is good. Just keep it in. Now, these are all the mistakes that everyone here can make. Because if you don't write simple sentences, these are the same mistakes you're going to make. So I want you to just stick to one sentence punch. First sentence, second sentence, third sentence. Don't write a complex sentence. Now, let me give you a grammatical question for you because I'm going to test. What was that? Oh yeah, here, notepad. Okay. He goes to school. Doesn't he? Now, you give me, so this is called tag. This part is called question tag. It's called question tag. Now, this one, you give me the tag. I'll give you 1 minute to think about it. Sorry. Okay. Just 1 minute and you give me the answer.
Isn't he?
All right, Simon. Simon.
The IS and committee.
Oh, isn't? Okay.
I don't know how to spell.
Pradeepa.
Is he?
Mayuko.
Didn't.
Very good, Mayuko. I have to give you an ice cream. I have it in the fridge. I'm going to get it now. Okay. I'm going to get you ice cream because you've been very good here. Excellent. Okay. It's didn't he. Very good. Why didn't he, Mayuko? I'm going to give you another ice cream if you get it right. Oh, ice cream. Yes. Why?
He done something.
It is the three forms of hit is hit, hit.
Very good. So you see, Simon, you see, if Jacob, if it was present, so we say Jack says, he says. Now, if it is present, we say he hits the boy. And then here we say, doesn't he? Okay. Now, since we don't have ed here, we don't have s here, it means that this is in the past because hit, hit, hit. So he hit the boy, that's in the past. We say, didn't he? All right. Does it make sense, Jacob?
Yeah.
Now, I have made a video on this and explained it in details. Okay. I can play it for you now. Let me just play it for you because I know you're not going to watch it. You say, oh, okay, we're going to watch it later. but you're not going to watch. So I'm going to play it for you. In this, I have explained auxiliary verbs in simple terms, very simple terms. You will learn a lot of things here easily. Okay, why did I close my YouTube channel? Why? I see that you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
No, you haven't. I know.
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, so I promised my students that I will make this video one day, and I made it. This is auxiliary verb is made easy, very, very easy. Okay, let's go.
Protect your 5 to 11-year-old with a coronavirus vaccine. Getting vaccinated will help keep your kids.
For my on-demand video courses on different, subscribe to for free. I'll see you there. Sorry, by the way, I make all my videos myself. I edit them, I add the sound, everything is by myself. So this video, it's how long? Maybe 5 minutes? Let me see. Yeah, maybe it's 12 minutes. It took me around 4 days to make it. 4 days, but 4 days of 2-3 hours every day. But it takes time. I mean, the whole point is this. But when you make it, you are very, it gives you a lot of satisfaction. Let's carry on. Sorry to interrupt you. Auxiliary or helping verbs. As I said in my previous videos, 80% of the reading and writing fill-in-the-blanks and reading fill-in-the-blanks questions are vocabulary based, which basically means collocations. And the rest, that is 20%, are grammar-based questions. Almost 80% of the grammar-based questions are revolving around passive or active voice sentences, which means you should know English language tenses, and in particular, auxiliary verbs or helping verbs really well. If you answer all of the following multiple choice questions correctly, that means you know your auxiliary verbs well. These questions are based on question tag, which means you need to know your tenses and helping verbs really well. So I do one tag question or question tag for you so that you know what you are expected to do. Here is the sample question. He speaks English fluently. Blank, he. And of course, the answer is doesn't. He speaks English fluently, doesn't he? Now, let's get started. You will have 15 seconds to choose an option. Number 1. Okay, the answer is B, didn't. Number 2. And the answer is A. Number 3. And the answer is B. Number 4. Which one, Mayuko? Which one? And the answer is C. Number 5. Which one, Simon?
A.
And the answer is B. Number 6. Jacob?
Isn't he?
Hasn't. Hasn't. And the answer is C. All right, if you got a few wrong, it's okay. Because today I'm going to show you an easy way to make a question tag for sentences or to turn English sentences into question or negative forms without knowing all the tenses in English. This is possible just by knowing the auxiliary verbs. What are auxiliary or helping verbs? To be able to make all tenses into question and negative forms, you need to know these 20 auxiliary verbs, and they are in no particular order: am, is, are, was, were, do, does, did, have, has, had, can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, and must. Now, there are only 2 rules that you need to know here. Rule number 1. Have, has, had are auxiliary verbs only when they are preceded by a past participle, or PP in short. Otherwise, they're just main verbs. For example, she has already passed this course, hasn't she? So look at this sentence. In this sentence, has is an auxiliary verb since there's a past participle verb after it. So by moving has to the beginning of the sentence, you can make the sentence into question form. And by adding a not after it, the sentence changes to negative form. Rule number 2. All proper English sentences have an auxiliary verb in their structure. If a sentence does not have one, this means that the sentence is either simple present or simple past tense. For instance, Tom has an electric car. In this sentence, has is not an auxiliary verb because it is not followed by a past participle verb. Therefore, rule number 2 kicks in, which means this is either a simple present or a simple past tense. Because has is in its present form, it is considered simple present tense. So for question form, we use does. Does Tom have an electric car? And for making it negative, we use doesn't before the main verb. Tom doesn't have an electric car. Another example. Tom had a terrible headache last night. Had is not an auxiliary here, since it is not followed by a past participle. So this sentence doesn't have an auxiliary verb. So based on rule 2, it should be simple past tense, and for question and negative forms, we use the auxiliary verb did. Did Tom have a terrible headache last night?
It's value the Australian way at Coles with Coles Chicken Schnitzels. Ready in just 15 minutes.
Now back to those question tag multiple choice test items with the full explanation using the 2 new rules you just learnt today. All right, so back to question 1. He had a blue car. So based on that rule, is this an auxiliary verb had?
No.
No. So rule number 2 kicks in. There's no auxiliary verb here. So it's either simple present, she goes to school, or simple past tense, she went to school. Okay? So had here, there's no past participle after it. There's no verb in the form of past participle. So had is not an auxiliary verb here. So once we don't have an auxiliary, it's rule number 2, which is simple present tense or simple past. So here it is simple past, and we use did for the simple past tense. So the answer is B. Number 2, she hit the tree. Now, do you see an auxiliary verb in this sentence? No. So rule number 2, if we don't have an auxiliary verb, it's a simple present or simple past. If it was simple present, because of the third person, that verb hit should have a third person S at the end of it. She hits. And since we don't have that S, this means the verb hit is in the past. The auxiliary verb did for this sentence. And since the sentence is positive, the tag question should be negative. So we're not concerned with that. We're just concerned here with choosing the right auxiliary verb. Number 3, we have to go now. So again, have, it looks like an auxiliary verb, but there's no PP after it, so it is simple present. So we use the auxiliary verb do or does, depending on the subject. So for we use do. So the answer is don't. Number 4, now this one is easy now because there's the verb had as a past participle. So obviously has is an auxiliary verb. That's rule number 1. And the question tag is hasn't she? Number 5, I'm taller than you are. So this is an exception here. So we either can say am I not or aren't I? So the answer is B, aren't I? Number 6, he's been teaching since morning. So now we have been, which is a past participle of the verb be. So that S is an auxiliary verb, and it is has since morning. He has been teaching since morning. So again, rule number 1, have, has, had are auxiliary verbs if they are before past participle. And there you go. The answer is hasn't. You can do more free test items on grammatical points, especially the ones that are in the PTE. All right. Any questions? No questions? Okay. So please, when you write a sentence, write it in the past because it makes it very easy for the computer to understand. All right. ED, add ED if it is now. What time is it? Okay, we've got 15 minutes to go. So we'll start with, what do you want to start with? Speaking?
Listening.
I'm sorry?
Listening, we start.
Okay, so do you want to carry on with listening?
No, anything is okay.
Actually, we can do with right from dictation because it's very important. I want you to do right from dictation. Because you have got your pens and papers ready, let's do some right from dictation. Are you ready? Write the initials and then fold.
Teaching assistants will receive monthly stipend for housing.
Okay, please send your very good to the chat. JK, capital T, full stop at the end. You get no points. Okay, remember these are good because we learn, and you will also remember that in your test. Very good. Teaching assistants, we get the monthly allowance. Okay. Pranita? Good. Yuko? And Simon, we're waiting for you. Very good, Simon.
Yeah, I think get it.
Housing. So teaching assistant, 1, 2, 3, 4. You get 4 out of 10. That's about 40%. All right, but what's the problem?
Oh, the
Capital
capital.
T, full stop at the end. You have full stop at the end, but no capital T. Mayuko will in the house. Okay.
Teaching assistants will receive monthly stipend for housing.
Monthly stipend. Stipend means money. Stipend. It's like a scholarship. Okay. Stipend means scholarship. All right. So you might get this in your question, in your test. Who knows? Okay. Next one.
The evaluation form will be reviewed by university personnel. All right. The evaluation form will be reviewed. PP will be reviewed by university personnel. Very good. You got 80% of it. The evaluation form will be reviewed, revised by university personnel. Full stop. Jacob, and evaluation form. So evaluation form is university. Okay. Form will be reviewed by university person. Okay, good. 40% now. The evaluation form will be reviewed by university personnel.
Okay. University personnel is double N. So person, N-E-L, N-E-L. Okay.
The winter sun is low, but high enough to produce enough warmth. Very good, Mayuko. Right, okay. So the winter sun is low, but high enough to produce enough warmth. Warmth is noun, th at the end.
The winter sun is low, but high enough to produce enough warmth.
Okay, next one.
This advanced course requires a basic knowledge of economic theory. Okay, let's stop at the end. Good. Okay. This advanced course requires a basic knowledge of economic theory.
This advanced course requires simple present, basic knowledge of economic theory. All right, next.
The course dates are available on the college website.
Very good. All right.
The course dates are available on the college website.
When launching a product, the investment in marketing is crucial.
Jacob, what's the problem? Jacob?
Yeah.
What's the problem? Yeah.
And launching.
Capital W.
Yeah.
And full stop. Okay. If you don't write it, no points. I had that even out of 15, you will get, because the computer cannot read it. The computer cannot read it because there's no capital letter. It doesn't know where it starts. It doesn't know when it finishes. So please don't forget. I cannot stress enough. Capital letters and full stop. Okay. Get used to it. The others. Okay, you're fine. The other's fine. So when launching, very good. Most of you, I mean, you got almost all of it, but when it comes to scoring, oh no.
When launching a product, the investment in marketing is crucial.
Okay, and this comma is part of the grammar here. So if you don't, that's fine. If you don't put it, that's fine. So when launching a product, comma, investment. So whenever you start a sentence with when I went there, comma, he was gone. Okay, the last one.
A good architectural structure is always very useful, durable, and beautiful.
All right. Okay. Structure, Pradeepa, structure.
I didn't get the spelling, sorry.
Oh, yes, structure. Oh. Mayuka, good architecture is always useful and visual and beautiful. Good. Structure is good. Very good. So durable, excellent. One more. Is good article, useful and beautiful. Very good. So capital, and whatever you write in the middle, that's fine. Okay, here is the answer?
A good architectural structure is always very useful, durable, and beautiful.
A good architectural structure is always very useful, durable, and BEA, beautiful. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Do you have any questions before I finish? No questions?
No.
Okay, I'll see you next Monday, next week. All right? Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Okay.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.